Right, welcome to another episode of the Powerful Lives podcast. Today we have the giant of a man, Tom Little.
Jippopotamus.
The Jippopotamus. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'll be honest with you, I'm waiting for some seedy 70s porn music to come on.
It can be arranged.
Yeah, no, I've been all right, mate. Been tiddling along, trying to get some of this weight off. To great fail.
Oh, I feel your pain. Yeah.
It's horrible. As you get old, like, I always used to think to myself and sit back and laugh. Listen, you're just lazy. That's all I always used to say, because, like, I used to be able to balloon up and crash weight quick, like, real quick. But now it don't move, and it's like, I'm the only man, right, alive that will sweat instantly after getting out of the bath, but put me in a gym and I've got the hardest job in the world to sweat. Like, I'll put a sweatsuit on and, like, there's not a lot really happening. So that tells you I must not be working hard enough in the gym, or I've got a severe glam problem.
I could sweat out 6 pounds of liquid and still put weight on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I ain't even kidding. Like, I've ballooned the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I was sort of sitting at a stable figure, and then all of a sudden I get on the scales, I put a stone on.
Yeah.
Scary.
I only hear the words calorie crash and I have a breakdown. That's it. I'll chuck my toys out the pram in a second over people trying to starve me out. Nah. Me food. Listen, I like my food. I always said if I had to make weight for boxing, I wouldn't box. No, listen, I've done that all through my childhood.
When was the last time you actually had to make weight?
75 kilo.
Say no more.
75 kilo, just before I went to prison.
What was that, about age 3?
Believe it or not, I was 18.
Really?
I was 18. I weren't big. Before I went to Nick, I was only like 5'11".
That's mad.
I was only 5'11", but I literally consistently starved myself. Like, when we were amateur boxing, anybody from my sort of era, I understand this here. Like, these young kids now, and this is why they're so more forward. Like, I'll say it straight. I was consistent, always there or thereabouts in championships. Always thereabouts. Especially as a senior, I was quite good as a senior. Now I wouldn't make it at the home counties. You look at these young boys now; they live like athletes. They do. What I'm saying is, how these kids make weight now? They grasp the concept of doing a proper professional weight cut. They know how to make weight properly and correctly. We used to just run with bin bags on, suck lemons, and starve and dehydrate.
Salt baths.
That was it. That literally was it. So when you look at it now, and I think that's what done me so much. And now I think, so rather than lose weight, now I couldn't make cruiserweight. I could definitely make bridge weight.
What are you weighing?
At the minute, about 23 stone.
23.
At the minute, about 23.5 stone. Yeah.
Nice.
Depressing. Considering, like, the best I've boxed as an heavyweight is at 17 stone.
How tall are you?
6'6".
6'6". Okay, you're a big man there.
Yeah, I've got taller as I've got older. Because I was always like 6'5" and a half, 6'5", and I've gone up. I'm just over 6'6" now. Man. Just over 6'6". So
I'm getting shot. I'm at the age now where I'm actually starting to decline.
The only thing's declining as the weight's coming on. He's getting smaller down there.
I ain't seen him
in months. I ain't seen him in months.
Like a little tortoise.
Yeah.
Tempt him out a bit less. Tom, let's take it back to the beginning. And I want to get into where you grew up.
Is this where I start putting on like my East London accent?
This is what we need, yeah.
Right, yeah. I fucking done this geezer in a canister.
There was 16 of them.
Yeah. There's 37 of them. All of them in brass. No, right, let's start.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another time. Yeah, well, it all started, what, boxing-wise or...?
In general, just in general. Yeah, whereabouts was you born? Where'd you grow up?
I was born where I live now, same place, no different. always lived on the little site there on the 414 in Outfield. Literally born in the hospital over the back. The QE2 is gone now. The QE2 hospital is.
That's the same site as Billy Joe.
No, it's there's half a mile in between us. There's a mile in between us. He's on the one in the roundabout. We're just on a smaller one, just up on the left hand side of the dual carriageway.
Nice.
But it's all one family on our place.
You go to school around there?
Went to Green Lane School.
Did you finish school?
I only went to primary school.
Oh, okay.
I only done primary school. And I done home tutoring. I got home tutoring, but afterwards, because my dad done a lot of the roofing on London for the council and Borough of London, and the things he found on the roofs and that, he said, just listen, that's where you're going to learn bad habits. Didn't help none, because I learned plenty of bad habits without going to school. So
I can imagine.
a major fail. All he done is I weren't no good at school. Yeah, I believe a child's got to be interested in something to learn it, and I had no interest in reading and writing. I can get by, very barely scrape by, I think, to a good primary school level, I think it is. But now seeing where my daughter's at in primary school, and she's only in like year 2, and like they asked me about reading books and that. I was like, what happened to the Chip and Kip books? You know what I mean? Like the Cat in the Hat and stuff like this here.
Was it Kipper, Chip and Kipper, wasn't it?
yeah. No. I said, what's happening to these here? Like, I said, love, I can't read. You're asking, you keep telling the child off that the books ain't me. I said, I send her here to learn, and you're sending her home to learn. I said, who's learning her, you or me? I said, because you ain't going to learn a lot off me. I said, so, yeah, schooling was a struggle for me. I didn't like it.
No. And you weren't big, you weren't, because obviously, like you say, you're a giant of a man now.
I was a runty kid.
Really?
I was a runty, cowardly kid. I was a cowardly kid.
From memory with a big head.
Yeah, do you know what it was? Yeah, I literally always had. My mum and dad took me to get me tested because they thought something was wrong with me. They thought I had some sort of deficiency, because I had big, massive hands, big feet, like this same size head as I've got now, but with hair, right? But this little narrow body, like literally, I was the ugliest shaped child you'd ever wish to find. Like, I'm telling you now, I looked like I was made out of pipe cleaners.
Like a little Spanish lizard.
Like, yeah, do you know, like one of them guys, like, had really freakishly long arms and like, yeah, lucky enough I grew into everything, really. But when I look back and I think of it, like, they took me to have these tests because they thought I had something wrong, because my sister had a problem with her thyroid and whatever, like, and that stunted her growth. But I was all right. I was just a late comer. Like, I was one of them kids. I never had a pubic hair until I was like 15, 16-year-old. I was literally a proper baby faced.
Mad.
But yeah, but when you think of it, like, I weren't a troublesome child. I used to hate trouble or whatever it was. Like, didn't like fights, didn't like confrontation, didn't like stuff like that. But as I got older, I realised it's gonna probably be a necessity of life, really. But my dad always taught me how to hold my hands up and stuff like that, and I was a boisterous child. But I did. Deep down, I've always been one of these people. I can make myself do stuff I don't want to do. Like, no, I don't like heights, but I can make myself go up on heights.
Yeah.
If I can force myself to do something I don't want to do, and that was the one saving grace. Because I remember the first bit of altercation I got into. I really didn't want none of it. I really, really didn't want none of it. But I literally
Feel it squeezing.
Yeah. But from there, then I didn't look back for myself. What's ever the point in being scared? I'm quite good at that. I'm quite good at that, and that was it really. Then I used to do karate and stuff like that, and then I went boxing.
What sort of age was you doing the karate?
From about 6, 7. I got to 10. Then I started going boxing. Then I didn't want nobody. Well, my dad didn't want me to do boxing because I used to play football, stuff like that. My dad didn't want me to do boxing at all.
For what reason?
Just he said the chances of you being any good at it is very slim. Might as well keep playing the football, and whatever. He just didn't. My dad. I don't know.
Was your dad a fighting man or?
My dad was a violent man, but not. Dad's always been a very, very, very good father, but you only got told off my dad once. That was it.
You respected him,
yeah. You only got. My dad's the only man alive to knock me spark out.
Really?
Knock me cold spark out.
What did you do?
I was 15, but I smashed my van up. I smashed my van up. I weren't 15, I was 16.
Just look for the video, see if you had a pubic hair.
Yeah, I know I was proper young. He hit me I was just thinking back there. I went away from it. I was just thinking back there. I had a bit of PTSD. That was like, fucking hurt, I'm telling you. But yeah, no.
What happened?
But, do you know what it was? I was just one of them children. I would not listen. I always knew best and whatever not. And my dad, like I said, my dad only tell you once, and I had warning off him. And my dad let me have it properly. But listen, the children now, like my cousins now, even go on about it now how I used to. When I got Iden, not a cuff up the ear roll. Like I'd get kicked and bounced like a football. There's no two words about it. But do you know what I believe? I generally believe now. I believe, and my children now, I've got a boy. Well, you've seen my boy. My boy comes everywhere with me. I believe it beat one devil out and 10 devils in. That's what I believe it done with me.
Okay.
Because what it done is, I didn't fear pain. I didn't fear it, right? Because I knew I could deal with it. So what I used to do is I used to think to myself, what I'm going to do, is it going to be worth the hiding? If it's going to be worth the hiding, I'm going to do it anyway, and I'll just take the hiding. I'll be done with it. It's going to be what it's going to be, but it's got to be worth me taking the hiding for me to do it.
Yeah. You're desensitised to it.
Yeah, I literally had nothing. Well, let me put it this way: by 18-year-old, I was in prison for beating someone's brains in with a hammer. So
what happened?
See how it was? I was meant to be going to a birthday party. With somebody in Stevenage, and I met a couple of travelling lads in the town, and they weren't invited to it, and I couldn't go and leave them. Do you know what I mean? So I said, no, I'm going to stay here. Worst thing I done really. Then we've bumped into somebody who had been having it off with the fella's wife. To be fair, a scuffle happened, whatever not happened. This fella's, I've gone to split it up. Somebody's come and kicked me in the face as I'm over trying to get the travelling lad up. Someone's kicked me in the face. I've jumped up. Obviously, I'm sharp. I was boxing at a very high level amateur. I had set about this fella. Knocked it, literally, his eyebrow was hanging down here. Knocked him out. I thought, that's it, job done. Got the fella up, dragging him to the old Cabstar pickup it was. We used to do scrapping it. And as I'm putting him in the motor, I felt smack up the back of my head. The fella hit me over the head with a belt. He got up and he hit me over the head with a belt. But as I went into the front of the motor where we do scrapping it, there's a club hammer in what we used to break the brass taps and that off.
Yeah.
I just turned around and hit him. Been drinking all day though, bearing in mind. So, as he's gone over, I thought he was trying to get away, but the man was having a fit. And I just kept hitting him, lumping him all over the head with this hammer. And whatever not, all up and down the legs and whatever. And then, what saved me from getting the lot of the time is the other fella come to himself, got the hammer off me, and then laced him. So they couldn't prove that I was the one that spasticated him.
Well, okay.
left him with the lifelong damages. And then the other brother come and set about him with, one of them big lorry spanners.
Yeah.
One of them there, he laced him with that there. So it was a freeway free-for-all. So they handed, what was it? I think they handed, 10 year out between the three of us. They trialled us all as one.
Well, okay.
But I'd never been in trouble for nothing before in my life before that there. And this judge, he looked at me like he was doing me a favour. When he gave me time, got me free year, right? And he said it like he done me a favour. But when you think about it, he did, because I didn't get striped right up with it. Because listen,
worse, yeah.
when we first got charged, it was charged attempted murder. Then we had to do plea bargains because we was all on camera and whatever not. And he went, but this man looked at me, and I'll never forget, Judge Atkins, his name was. He said, if you ever appear in front of me again for so much as smacking someone, he said, I will take you as far as the law can take you. He said, I said, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. He said, but I think you're a malice young, because I kept laughing at the CCTV camera, because there was like a split second skipping it, so it looked like I was a Lego man. Right, I got dragged out the court 3 times. Dragged out the court 3 times for laughing at this camera. And then I was tormenting the CID woman. Well, I weren't tormenting her. There was a bit of an altercation between me and her. I said some things to her. Just young, full of myself and whatever. And prison was like school. I didn't like it, didn't want to be there. And the only thing I was good at was fighting. So it was literally, that's all I'd done in prison.
Where was you?
I was in Woodhill, that's double A cat. That there was my favourite jail, that was.
Really?
That was
For what reason?
It was just, I got kicked off the YP wing for harassing and bullying people. Right? Not funny. It ain't funny because it's just, but bearing in mind, I'm a young boy. Yeah, I mean, and listen, the only defence mechanism I had was be on the front foot. Right? And when people were saying, anybody that's been in jail, they know, right, listen, the adults can be a bit arsey and whatever not, but everyone just really wants to do their time. If you can go where the most dangerous people are, was doing the biggest amount of time, because over here, there's no real such thing as life means doing life unless you're like fucking poor old Bronson or whatever it is, right? Everyone's got something to work towards. These men just want to do the time and get out. Right? If you can get yourself there, that's where you're going to have the easiest time in the world. If you're not a shit cunt and you're a bit straightforward, and obviously there's a fine line between not being a shit cunt but also not being a doormat, isn't they? And yeah, when I got onto that side of things, that's where I never really got in no sort of trouble or whatever it was. I had a few scrapes, but with people that are best off out of this world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the one bit of a scrape I had, like bad bit of a scrape I had, and I never done not one day in segregation for it. Because I started off in, let me get to where I was, because I've gone right away from it. I was in Woodhill, I went to Feltham, Onley, Glen Parva, because I got kicked out the YP thing in Woodhill. They were moving me to YO jail, and I kept, honestly, the more they moved me, the more I'd start. And I mean, the minute I landed somewhere, if they put me in a holding cell with somebody, I'd let them have it. I'd literally torture people. I got time added on over keep beating people for nothing. And it weren't, what's the name, it was just a way of me trying to get my own way. You want to keep messing me about?
Was it frustration?
It was. When I think back of it now, if I could go back and I could put my head now on them set of shoulders, for one, I wouldn't have been in prison in the first place. But two, when you think of it, in hindsight, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have this head on my shoulders now. But I was that frustrated and angry with myself, and I thought to myself, Joe, what? There's only one way around it, because that's all you see around you is people taking, doing, like, it weren't only me. Do you know what I mean? Boys, I watched the whole boy get dug out, honestly. This issue, well, it would class as rape, surely to God, right? They had their hands up the man's arse, digging him out. Had his, a chair with the hole through the back of it. They had him through the chair, sit on his back, one holding his arms, and I'm telling you now, I hit one up the back of the head with a pole cue, because I couldn't watch no man have that done.
No.
That there's literally, listen, that's fear. I don't care how bad you want drugs. I don't care how much them drugs are worth in the back of a man's ass. But come on.
No.
I levered it. That was an anomaly, that was an anomaly. Then, when I was in Woodhill, I'm in Woodhill. My cousins are going up. Now, my cousins are the most peaceful, loving, but they had a bit of family altercation. They looked like they're going away and doing time. So, I went to Chelmsford because I thought that's where they were going to go.
How long was you in for when you went in first time?
I've only ever been in once.
Only been in once? I've
done 2 years. I served 2 years. I served two years. That's what I got. I got a 3 year sentence. Got a bit of time added on. I hit a screw. I got a year added on. I got a year added on for hitting a screw. But mind you, the woman one, I hit her with an apple. And then I bit the man through the face when he comes. Because I'm a bit of not a germaphobe, but like I don't like people touching my face, and I've never liked it. And when like people shout at you and spit goes on your face, mate,
it's rough.
I lost me rag. But there was a travelling lad fighting out on the wing, and I was the only other travelling lad on the wing with him. And I weren't going to go beyond my door. These two, they were just fighting. The travelling fella weren't even my mate as such. But I weren't going to go in behind my door and leave him out there on his own. Do you know what I mean?
Fair
even though, but they're all learning and shouting, get behind your doors, get behind your door. I said, you put everyone else behind your door. So I'll stand in my doorway, but I ain't leaving him out here on his own. Do you know what I mean? And she shouted at me, right, this little door. But I'm eating an apple. She shouted at me. But as she's there, she shouted at me, and this bit of spit is hit me here, and I could feel it running down my face. And I was literally just threw the apple like that, and there's one of the other govs come at me. I just literally met him with 2 or 3 shots, but they were scruffy. I just grabbed hold of him and bit him through the face.
What happened with that?
Did they beat me? Oh, did they beat me? They got me down in the block. They put a mattress over top me. These mattresses. When I say mattress, I'm not talking about your double dulax or whatever it is. Like
no silent night in there.
There's no memory foam or nothing like that. Right, I'm telling you now. I've wrapped my hands with thicker sponge. I've wrapped my hands with as knuckle protectors. They've put them over top of you, and they've stomped me. And I mean, stomped me, and I could feel bones and whatever not moving. They beat me bad. I laugh at it now because I think to myself, Joe, what? I probably can't deserve it. I've bit the man through the face. The man's only these people are there only to do the job, aren't they?
Oh, definitely, yeah. They're
only there to do the job. And you got to put up with people like me at me very worst. And I never think to myself, Joe, what? I love you. I love you back. And I said to him, I said, I will have you. But one by one or whatever it is, I never got the time to have one by because I got moved straight out the block. But I've won the best kick in the balls you've ever seen. This man left the ground about 2 feet. He left the ground about 2 feet. I'm getting dragged out, and I'm like this here, and I just see my opportunity. I was like, there it is. It's there. And I've kicked him. But you know when you feel the sole of your, like that part of your foot, right, what bends, that's cupped the nutsack, right? And but when he's come off the ground, he's bent his knees in midair, and he's literally got. They beat me again over that.
But was he part of it? Was he one of them?
He was one of them in there, and I see him
down.
I see him down as they were taking me out in the bus when I was going to Feltham. I was going to
present.
Yeah, and they moved me from Glen Parva over that. Then they moved me to Feltham. Then I went to Chelmsford. I never really got in a lot of trouble with in Feltham. To be honest with you, Feltham was all right. It was all right, but I went to because I had caught in Harlow over. I chawed some drain hole covers and a police light off the top of a motor. I chawed a police light off the top of a police car, and I got 7 days to run concurrent with my current sentence. And I went to Chelmsford. I said, "Yeah, can I go to Chelmsford from there?" And they let me go there. They got sick of me in Feltham. I was just misbehaving, not misbehaving to the screws, just misbehaving to the other prisoners. And I went to Chelmsford because that's the local prison from Harlow anyway. And then my cousins ended up fucking getting off with Rossane, which was a good thing, I suppose. But the whole reason I ended up in Chelmsford was to make sure that they were all right. So they had a friendly face, and they got off. And I thought to myself, how am I going to get back to Woodhill? That's the only... Mind you, these other prisons I've been to, like B-Cat, A, like I'm trying to get back to a double A cat. I'm trying to get back to a double A cat. But I knew, like, that's where I done the easiest time, because you're always locked behind your door. The days goes by so quick.
Everyone's there just trying to get through.
Yeah, I was on a good wing. I was on a wing with one of my co-defendants. Do you know what I mean? And I've literally gone outside and I have beat this old boy to near enough death. And I'm telling you now, like, this fella was gargling. I was like, for nothing at all. Literally, no other reason. I said, if you keep me in the same prison as him, I'll kill him. I said, I caught him robbing out myself. Mind you, Chelmsford, I never had a window, right? You had bars, but all the window bit was all broken. I don't know where the water was coming from, but there was water in my cell floor. This here was like a dungeon. She was a proper shit pit. I don't know what it's like now, but I'm telling you now.
How long was you there for?
Maximum of 4 days, I think. I wanted out there double quick. The minute I knew them boys weren't coming, when I knew my cousins weren't coming, I had no reason to be hanging about in Chelmsford. Yeah. I thought, this is the thought myself, right, if I cause a big enough scene, it's worked everywhere else. So this is the thing. What I was doing was getting results. Do you know what I mean?
Getting what you wanted.
I was getting what I wanted. They didn't know that's really what I wanted, but they just didn't want the ag. Thought, Joe, what, this kid's problems.
Was you like big by then? Was you?
Nah, I creeped about 6'1".
Okay.
But I was still like spindly. But obviously I knew how to fight. Like I knew how to fight. So it was easy. It was easy when I was saying, and anybody that's ever known me, and I hate it when people say, and I ain't going on like I'm Billy Big Bananas, because listen, any man put on the faces first can be switched off like that, right? But there's two lots of people in this world. There's people that's about it, and there's people that ain't. There's people that's game, and there's people that ain't, right? Now, I can gladly sit here and say, and I welcome any man to challenge me on it. I'm a gamer man that'll ever walk on this world. However people want it, if you want it on the cobbles, if you want to pick something up, whatever way you want to go, if you want to jump in the boxing ring, I'm game as a pebble for whatever. I'd much rather be anyone's friend, especially nowadays. But if the occasion arises where it's got to go south double quick, listen, you can guarantee you, if I'm with you, Brett, I'm with you. Like, and if I don't like you, you will very soon know about it. I've always been like that. And with where I was going, I thought to myself, do you know what? I've just got to get back to Woodhill. I want to get back to Woodhill. So in the end, they've took me back to Woodhill, and I've gone there, and we got into a real big old scrape. Well, one of my co-defendants had a problem with these fellas. They said they were from Tottenham for gun crime, right? But then it's come out on the 10 o'clock news. It came out on the 10 o'clock news that they were getting trial because they were all in the budgie suits, which is a temp escapee.
Yeah.
Now, there's 4 of them, right? There's 4 of these fellas. And I'll tell you where it was. Anybody might be able to remember it. And somebody in the comment, if you remember seeing the crime happen. 2 girls from Reading, these fellas thought they got them set up to get robbed for some drugs, right? Then what happened is they've lured the girls out somewhere, raped the 2 girls. They raped the 2 girls, scraped them out with spoons to try and get rid of the DNA, backward bastards, right? Then what they've done is they've shot one in the face. Make this out. They've shot one in the face. She lived. Stabbed another girl. She died. Right, that's one thing I'll never forget about hearing it. But I never said nothing on the thing. But I heard everybody else on the wing going absolute divvy because 4 of these fellas, they wouldn't go on the nonces wing. Right, they wouldn't go on the nonces wing. So they went into normal, whatever not. Now this here, I never see one day in the block over this here. I never see not one day in the block. It was down on the thing. When you're out at the pool table, you put your ID card down as like a £1 coin, right? He's put his ID card on the table. One of them has association. Now everyone's a bit frosty with them, but what was doing my brain? Everyone was saying the most through the windows and whatever not. Right? Nobody done fuck all. Right? Nobody done fuck all. Now these old boys, they weren't big. There was one. To be fair, one dropped me like a sack of potatoes. But I'll get to it now. He's put his thing on the thing, and I've knocked it off the table. I said, "No rapists playing here. Fuck off away from me." Like out there. But I'm stood like an arrogant mongrel with me hands down my trousers like that. Right? I thought to myself, no way he's gonna hit me. No way. He knows what I'm gonna do to him if he hits me. No, as I've looked like that, I've looked at one of my mates like that. He's went whop right in the butt of the chin. But as I went back on my ass, I've grabbed the table and I've started throwing pool balls at him, right? But I'm telling you now, she was the best throw I've ever seen in my life because he scattered from here to the back of the room. And I threw this pool ball and I've hit him square right on the side of the head. But as he's hit the ground, I've rushed, I've got hold of him, and I laced him, I beat him sick as a dog. Went up like there, went up to the thing, got locked away, thought to myself, right, listen, it's on now anyway. Because I know one thing here, I only judge things by how I am. Somebody does that to one of my mates, to like my co-defendant or whatever not, it's on. There's no 2 words about it. So I thought to myself, listen, I'm getting myself ready for this here. One of the screws laughed when he put me behind the door. Like, because he got to get airlifted. He got airlifted I served him in the state. Like, yeah, listen, that weren't the only pole ball we had to his head. Like, I beat him as sick as a pig. I collapsed his skull. I fractured his skull bad. He was in a bad way. These table legs, right, that you got, I've got one off, but I've left it rigid, right? I've left it sitting. So as I've gone like that, the minute the doors have come open next, I've literally rushed straight to them. Like, couldn't get to them, right? So because they had half an idea. So 2 days later, they thought the old govs and that's thought everything's calmed down. Everything's got opened as normal. They've come to my door. 3 of them's come to my door. But an old boy called Coffee, right? and that's the only name I've mentioned on this thing. But listen, this fella, what a legend, right? what a legend. Because I like this sort of sly, conniving, like, behaviour, right? He's told them he's coming with them to beat me, right? He's got them into my cell, right? Now, you can imagine 4 people in this cell. Right? It's a bit cramped as it is, but as I've seen them, I've reached the table and to get myself up more than anything, I forgot about the table leg because I placed it back under the table like that so it didn't get took off me. As I've rushed to get myself up off my bed, I've rushed like that, he's shut the door and he's just started weighing this fella was a big old lump. Like, I'm a big fella now, right? He's bigger than what I am now. That's how I remember him anyway.
Yeah, monster.
Like, they're like some big, like, honestly, he looked like, I tell you, he looked like, you know, have you seen The Longest Yard with that Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
He looked like him. He broke my nose. he looked like him. Paul, he broke my nose.
Okay, stop crying. All right, we can fix this. Here we go. Okay, good.
Right, I only called him Coffee because he was saying, because every day I see him, got any coffee? I said, boys, I ended up buying the man a jar of Nescafe, right? Because but I think it was more of a conversation starter, right? I don't think the old fella was the full shilling. No. Right? Lovely old boy. Yeah, used to play cards with him and whatever. Like, just a real nice fella.
Do you know what he was in for?
Never asked. He was one of them people that you just like. I never really cared what people were in, unless they were in for touching children or whatever. And listen, I don't mean the one. You've got to be some sort of shithouse to let somebody survive and walk about as normal when they're in for doing something like that. I don't care what sort of man you are. I'd rather have a fight and get beat than let them sit in peace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, long story short, we've got one, but one of them he had a big beard, and we got him down. We sugar watered him. I'm telling you now, the squirrels coming out of this cell. They left us do it. See, that's what I loved about old Woodhill.
Justice was
she was a bit of a justice giving gaff.
Yeah,
like
they'd let
it go. They'd definitely let it go for long enough for somebody to get just desserts. And I burnt one's beard off. I emptied a full thing of matches. This is when you could smoke in jail. That's how long ago. Well, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Was
yeah.
No, about 18 years ago. It was about 18 years ago I was in. I'm 36 now, yes. About 18 years ago.
Yeah.
But when you think about this here, like, we've got these fellas in there, and I thought this fella was... When I first got up off my bed, I thought, the fucker, you come and play cards with me every day, and you've dragged these right to my door. But the minute he shut the door, he's just started weighing them in. And this fella, he was like...
It's beautiful.
Like, I'm telling you now, like, I'll never forget the sound of them, because this man was just a big, raw bone. No sort of finesse, but just one big, violent individual. Right? And I was like, you know what? I remember I beat this fella with the chair leg, with the table leg, until I couldn't really lift my arms. I'm telling you, he come out there, he looked like Quasimodo. He did. He looked like Quasimodo, what we done to him. And that was really, from there, after that, I had quite a peaceful time in prison.
Everyone left you to it.
Then it weren't even that, though, because it weren't like I was walking around like, I run things and whatever. Because I find things like that fucking cringy. I just think if you're about it, you're about it, and that's it. And there's no when people say, oh, I run this, or you don't run fuck all, mate. You don't run a bath. People that have to say, oh, I run this, like, you don't run nameless. Don't run fuck all. And people that are interested in running stuff, what are you going to be running? You're running a load of men penned up like dogs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can still earn a few quid in prison. Yes, you can. You can earn a few quid in prison. But what I'm saying is, who wants to be the leader of a penned up society? Do you know what I mean? All I was thinking about, I was that angry that I'd missed my chance with boxing. Then I come out and I never had no interest in boxing when I got out. I never had no interest in boxing. I literally just went to this is where prison never helped me. It never helped me because the one fear factor that anybody should have probably is prison. I don't want to go to prison. Then all I wanted to do, I weren't bothered if I'd done prison that easy. I didn't care about going back. So I took to robbing people. But I thought to myself, listen, who can afford to lose it? Drug dealers can afford to lose it. They can't really grass you up. Really, can they? Although some of them do now. Some of them do grass people up now. But, yeah, that was where that led me. I took to a life of that until I got married.
So you literally come out, and I suppose you come out, you need money.
I come out, I was literally just, what do I do? My safety net was boxing. That's gone.
Had you worked anywhere?
Never worked. Listen, see me, I was always one of them people, and like, the traditional way travelling lads get, I used to do a bit of scrap and whatever not, but that's hit and miss. You're never really going to make million. And I've always been an ambitious person. But do you know what it was? And I can honestly say this here, every dishonest pound I ever earned never done me not one day's good. It left me as quick as it come to me. It did, because I was that wasteful with it. I could cry my eyes out when I think about the money that I went through.
The amount that's gone through your hands.
The amount that's gone through my hands. And just never got not one care for it. 10, 15, 20 grand.
I think it's that easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
No, and that is it. Like, literally, I bowl myself up on the daily over it. Like, I think to myself, what have you done? The amount of money. If ever I would have put it away, like I say, if I could go back and put this head on them narrow shoulders, do you know what I mean? And think to myself, you know what, Tom? Tom would not be in the situation Tom's in today. I can tell you that much. But lucky enough, I found my way back to boxing. Because
how old was you when you actually got back into it?
23.
23, which is very
24,
late.
24. 24 was. 24.
Late.
Yeah, 24. But this is, you know, when people say to me, Tom, you never really took it serious at boxing, right? Let's bear in mind this here. I went to watch somebody fair play for a fight, ended up getting my ear bit. Ended up getting my ear bit, having a bit of a rough tumble. So the only reason I walked back into a gym is I realised I started blowing a bit. So I thought to myself, I'm going to get fit. And I'm going to smash this fella's face in. And then when I walked in the gym, I bumped into Graham Hill. And 6 weeks later from that, I was having my professional debut.
Nice.
So when you stumble back into boxing, you know, I started boxing back in a nightclub. Liquid nightclub. When people ask me, like, why didn't you take it serious? Now, let's think of how I found my way back into boxing. I sort of stumbled there. It's hard to take that serious, really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I watch boys with more talent than me can absolutely go nowhere, not get no TV fights or nothing like that, because they never had the, not sense, because they never had the education enough that you have to put yourself out there. Now we live in a social media presence stage. You've got to make that social media presence known loud. If you can fight and you know that you can fight, you need to make everybody know who you are and then show them you can fight.
Yeah, we say, I mean, you've only got to look at the top sportsmen out there. You've got people like McGregor, lost 5 out of his last 6 or something like that.
Yeah, but he's still McGregor.
He talks and talks and talks, and everyone wants to watch his fights.
Well, that's what it was when I found my way back to boxing, like back away from all the dark shit. Like I come out, you know what? It knocked my plug in when I come out. My granddad said to me, if he don't behave, I won't get to see him. My granddad used to call me his boy, and when I got out, chokes me up with though. When I got out, literally I was on tag and my granddad died. Do you know what I mean? I was on tag, but lucky enough he did get to see it. Do you know what it was? When I went to Onley, and I beat someone real bad, real bad. And the governor pulled me up, and he said to me, he said, you can toe the line, and I promise you I'll give you a tag. I promise you I'll give you a tag. I'll give you enhanced. I'll do everything you were saying to get you to behave. But one wrong move, and you're going to Liverpool. You're going to Liverpool. And yeah, I'm so happy that man pulled me in and talked to me and whatever. Not bad move, really. Bad move for them, because like what that proved to me is me misbehaving got me what I wanted.
Literally, yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I say like I really downplayed it, like I was bad, like bad. Like genuinely, it worries me to death if my child is ever like I was bad, like Brett, like beyond a joke. Bad.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. It's just literally.
Because most people go in and just want to get their time done and
No,
sit quiet.
I thought, Joe, I was that angry. I thought to myself, Joe, what? I'll show you how to be bad. that's what it was. You want to put me here? I'll show you. I'll show you how many reasons I've got to be here.
Yeah,
and I think probably. Listen, not probably. Probably most definitely. I am mentally unhinged. I'm just probably undiagnosed. That's the top and bottom of it. But when I got out, and that broke me. When I got out, my granddad died. That broke me. That showed me that I can be hurt.
I think, it's a big thing. You know, like we obviously talk to a lot of people who've done a lot of time, and that time they can't get back.
No.
You know? And we had Lewis Clark in yesterday. Amazing geezer. I love him. Brilliant. He's saying about himself and his dad, where they almost want to go back in. You know, it's almost like a holiday for him. He sort of said it'd be like a bit of rehab for him.
Yeah, do you know what? And this is the God's honest truth. So when I'm having it a bit rough at home, I think to myself,
little 3 months.
I might go and
drop a couple of stone.
Yeah, I might go down and start nicking hams at the co-op or something, just so I get a little short shoplifting sentence, for a bit of an holiday. Who needs to go Turkey? I'll go fucking get the same sort of food. You know what I mean? But no, do you know what it is? When you think of it, it's time wasted. And it's time that I never get back. And I've done hardly anything, hardly any sort of time. Often what some of these fellas do, like, and I always said I would never. Yeah, I'd say when I come out, I thought to myself, it's impossible for me to be good. It's impossible for me to be good, but I can be clever enough not to get caught. Do you know what I mean? And then I started being like that, and then I thought to myself, well, this ain't serving me no good, because every pound I'm just fucking away. And then what changed round for me was when I had my little boy. When I had my Tommy Lee, things changed very, because I found proper, real vulnerability.
I think you finally got something to lose, didn't you?
Yeah. Like, because I never did, and I never have cared about my own life. Genuinely, I could honestly not care if I walked out of here and I dropped down stone dead. I couldn't care. I generally couldn't, and that's a stupid thing to say, probably. But I can only be honest about it.
Well, you probably would care if you thought about you wouldn't want to leave Tommy.
Yeah, that's when I think deeper into it, the things like I am the biggest mummy's boy ever walked this planet. I am the biggest mummy's boy ever walked this planet. Like, and my mum's not been well, and that there shattered me. When I see my mum ill, it breaks me, and it's things like that there what have reminded me that I am only flesh and bone. I ain't made of stone. Even though most of the time I walk through life making out like things I was saying, people see me always laughing, messing about and joking. I've always got a joke to say about something or laugh about something, but when you hit the cold hard facts of things, when you look at the deep the things that actually really matter to a person, and then if you can't change and behave in your life for them reasons, then you really truly are lost.
You won't change for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you see these men that, listen, I know addiction's bad. I know addiction's terrible, a terrible thing. But when you see these men with beautiful little children and whatever not, and they can't change for them, they'll never change. They'll never change, they're lost. They're lost. Because if a man can't change for that, that's the highest form of love you can ever have is for your child. You could never love. I don't mean no harm, right? You know, and listen, I didn't know nothing at all about love at all until I had my children.
And they look at you.
And when they look at you and you've got that in your hand, listen, I'm responsible for you. Not for 18 years. I'm responsible for you until I close my eyes.
Brother, yeah.
Right? Until I close my eyes. And then when you find people that can't behave themselves for that reason, that's a truly lost man. So I realised I weren't lost. And
just needed purpose.
I needed purpose. I needed a direction. What was I good at? Fighting. Found my way to boxing. I was also a good talker. I could always talk myself into a fight. The only problem was I was talking myself into fights and not getting paid for it. Do you know what I mean? So that's the avenue I went down. I got myself a good world ranking. In boxing.
What was your amateur career like?
My amateur career was good. National titles, everything done. But I only really come on as a senior. I weren't a very good junior. But I had all the good fundamentals, and then as I come up here, I boxed for Sableo for a little bit. I was unbeaten for them. Didn't get beat for them. Done well. I done well as an amateur. My amateur pedigree was good. My amateur pedigree was good. But then obviously, when it would have got a lot better, I got nicked. And got spent a long time away. Well, a long time in the terms of boxing.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? In the
2 years, a long time.
2 years, long time.
Long time.
Then I come out and I thought to myself, I started misbehaving and whatever not out there, lost my granddad. That made me worse. Because I just felt like I had nothing to live for. I'd literally run through someone's else, beat them after death, and then realised that fucking if they didn't have what I assumed to be there, I'd beat them worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, silliness. You know, when you think back of it, you think to yourself, Tom, what in the earth were you doing? Elmer here, for one. Also, because I never ever used it. Anybody says that's who done it. Listen, anybody that I've ever touched or done up, right, or was they full well knew it was me, because I've never been a coward and put a thing over my face and hid my face. Not for nobody. I'm man enough to do something. I'm man enough to stand consequences. And I hope you're man enough to come and give them me.
You're pretty recognisable as well, to me.
Yeah, exactly that. Listen, you can put a balaclava on my face. I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably one of them few people will say, but listen, that's honestly one thing I can honestly say. I've never put one thing over my face or hid myself from nobody, because I wouldn't hide from the devil. That's one thing I wouldn't do. And but when I look back of it, I think myself, went away from there, and then I stumbled into boxing. But then, when they say everything happens for a reason, it must have done, because there's no way I could have planned things out to be that way.
Yeah.
And I've never looked back. Boxing gave me structure. As heartbreaking and frustrating as my career was, it gave me structure. It gave me a reason not to misbehave. It gave me a reason where I could see myself give me children things that, and let them see that if you work hard and you do something, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Do you know what I mean? And you can get somewhere with a good head, and good advice, and you'll only ever be as strong as the man inside of you. Do you know what I mean? So when you look and you put too much weight on your own shoulders, that's what I wanted to show my boy. When you put too much weight on your own shoulders, you're always going to crumble. You'll hold strong for a while, but you will crumble. You need good support around you, and that's what boxing gave me. It allowed me to trust in people, because I never trusted nobody. Never talked to nobody about nothing. Never trusted nobody with money. Never trusted nobody with anything. And
you're trusting your coach with your life.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I never paid Josh Burnham or Ben Davison to be brave for me.
No.
I paid them to make a decision for me. If it had to be made, then they'll make a decision. Because I'd never quit. I'd die before I quit.
Yeah.
So they're the decisions I want them to make, not for me, for my children.
Talk me through you getting these big fights, because obviously you've had some chunky fights, with proper people.
Yeah. Well, do you know what it was? Like I said, I got a World 15 ranking. Now that there is pound signs, right? Because what happens is, I got a World 15 ranking on small fights. Bearing in mind the fight that gave me a good ranking, I didn't get paid for. I beat an unbeaten man, stopped him, and I got paid. I remember I could have cried my eyes out. I thought myself, I'm money down. I'm money out.
Yeah.
It's cost me money. But then, next thing I know, me and Billy Joe we were in up in Sheffield. We were in a Burger King because he was doing the keto thing to get weight off, and he was saying, I'll never forget, he's eating these burgers with no bread or anything like that, right? And I said, the Sourlands have reached out to me. They want me to fight Filip Ergovic. Now, he went, how much they want to give you? They want to get off me first off 9,000 quid. You went, what? Now, when I tell you how them numbers changed very quickly when I put Billy Joe on the phone, now this is the thing with boxing. If they think they can pull your pants down, they're getting pulled down.
All day long.
All day long. Billy Joe got on the phone to him, and them numbers changed dramatically.
Was that your first proper fight?
That was my first big fight. That was on the undercard of Marius Bridis and Alexander Usyk. And that was the best I boxed as a pro. That was the night I boxed him, I gave him all he wanted to handle. And it was coming unstuck for Filip that night. But I made a foolish mistake. I hurt him. I went after him, and I paid the price. Because I weren't watching it, whether his head was cleared. I paid a naive mistake, and I ran into a right hand which split me across there, right across that eyebrow there. It was bad. But I was out on my feet. The referee ended up stopping it, blah, blah, blah. Then I went out of that fight, and I fought for the English title against Daniel Dubois. You have a look at my hand there, see where my hand doing there. I hit him with a left hook. I already had a scar there. But them bones, you see where it turns there?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you see where it turns there? Them bones shot straight through me hand. They were hanging out my hand. In the first round, I fit on for 5 rounds with them bones hanging out my hands. Now, listen, pain is not a thing. I know my art cannot be tested. My art would not be tried. It's one thing I've got, and I had in abundance. I had too much art. But when I boxed Daniel, I remember, because I sparred Daniel, and I thought to myself, do you know what? I'll beat you to the jab every time. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm Spartan. I ain't worried about no pain. And whatever, not I sound like Mr. T there. Ain't no real pain. But I remember thinking, how is he beating me to a jab? How has he beaten me to it? Because when he was hitting me, it was like a tarmac punt hitting me in the face. Like, it was literally, you know them metal things where they punt the corners of the tarmac? That's what it felt like. It was hitting me.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. He hit me with a body shot right on the liver. And I went down, and the only reason I knew I was down was I rolled on my hand. And I thought, fuck, I could get up. And I got up, went back on, and it got stopped in the 5th round. Me and him.
You think up until he fought Joyce, he was the new...
Yeah.
He was the new champion, wasn't he, really, on the block?
He was. He was. And but I said, listen, I weren't good enough to make Daniel quit. But I did say, and anybody's welcome to go and have a look at the interviews. I looked at him, I said, you've got quit in you. I can see you've got it in you. You've got quit in you. Listen, when you spend your life around the sort of people I've spent my life around, I can look a man in the eyes and I can tell you pretty much what he's about. And especially when you hear him and you see their body language and whatnot, you see, listen, I know if a man will go to a dark place with you or won't. I weren't good enough to take Daniel to a dark place, so it doesn't really matter. It was by the by. Daniel punched me face in. But I knew what
you see that chink in the
I
armour.
see that chink in his armour. I knew if I could get to him, if I would have boxed Daniel the very next day, I would have went forward at Daniel from the word go. From the word go, I would have went forward. I would have closed the distance on him and went forward at him. Stupid thing I done, sit at the end of his hands where his power was maximised. But I thought myself I'd box around the outside and whatever. But I remember saying to Don Charles, because I hurt my hand in the last spar. But when I caught Daniel with a left hook, you'll see it in the first round. You'll see me hit Daniel on top of the head with a left hook, and that was my arm fucked. And you'll see in the fight, I welcome anyone to watch the fight back. You'll see me pull Don to me in one of the rounds, and I say my hand's gone. Like that, I said my hand's gone. I weren't looking for a way out. I didn't want to say, but John was asking me why ain't I jabbing?
Yeah.
And I just pulled him. Look, stop asking me to jab. I can't. My hand's gone. Like that. Don knows I wouldn't have someone throw a tail over or something. Especially the amount of stick I gave that lad. He deserved to give me a bit of a beating. Do you know what I mean? The amount of stick I gave him through the build up of that fight. But when Daniel's the elder version of the world title. Daniel's been a WBA regular world champion. Filip Ergovic is mandatory for the next for the winner of Usyk Fury, right? Babic.
I love Babic.
Babic fought for a bridgeweight world title. 3 of my last 5 of thereabouts.
Serious CV, yeah. Serious CV.
Majidov was one of them. He beat AJ as an amateur, but he had to retire because he popped his knee out in a fight. He was so he's had to retire. But he would have done big things. Majidov was a good man. Who was the other one? David Price. I was beating David Price. I got caught, but they should have stopped it. They never should have stopped the fight. Never in a million years. Kieran McCann got his own back on me that night. Because I beat Kieran twice as an amateur. I don't think he done it over that there. It was just his first night on a big stage and whatever not. And
yeah.
I got clipped and wobbled and whatever not. But this is the frustrating thing. Like that's where David's most vulnerable, when he tries to finish someone, when he wobbles them. And I went back and I planted my feet and listen, it could have went really wrong for me. But we're overweight boxers. That's it. That's how it goes. But I could never have carried on to David. And when they said to me, do you want a rematch with David on Scotty afterwards, I said, David's been mate first, but for what me and him had to settle, we should have settled there and then. Now I know what side me and him are on a career, and it ain't on the up and coming side. So now's the time. If I was going to advise David as a mate, go earn your money. Go get your big fights. Because I knew me and the winner of me and him was to fight Povetkin. That the winner of me and David was going to fight Povetkin. David went and fought Povetkin straight outward. Then when they looked at us both, when they looked up, I said, look, I ain't got it. And I see how the crowd was going on. I knew that Eddie had to give me another fight. I knew he had to give me another fight. Do you know what I mean? Because of how everyone was. It weren't just my mouth that was sore. It weren't just a sour taste left in my mouth. It was everyone else. Everyone else see how the fight was going. Like, I was on David. David's done a lot of rounds with me. I've done a lot of rounds with David. I was only going to get stronger from there on out. He allowed me to have me front foot. He allowed me to have me front foot. And like, I'll tell anyone, that's a bad place for anyone to be. Allow me to have my front foot with time to think and pick pick and plant my shots, you're in troublesome waters there. I don't care who you are, I don't care what level. Listen, you can have a look at my record and laugh at my record all you want. You give me time on my front foot, and I don't care what level you box at, I will give you all the work you want to have. And I don't care what man you are, what man you ain't. And it's been proven. Listen, there's a reason I've shared the ring with the men that I've shared the ring with. It's because I'm obviously quite capable. Do you know what I mean? I'm obviously up to some sort of standard. Listen, I've had good rounds with Joshua. Good rounds. I've done good rounds with Joshua, but I've done some good rounds with Tyson. Tyson's at a fucking different level though when he's on form. Different level, different gravy.
Yeah.
He's different gravy.
When he's friends with Ty, who's part of his training camp now.
Yeah.
Ty Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's another wasted talent, you know.
Big time.
Wasted
Some
talent.
fighter.
A good fighter. So shame he never got the crack of the whip he should have had. But that's the thing. And when I look at things back like that, when I look at the beautiful times I had in boxing, and then go and wasting my time boxing fucking people like Tommy and that. Do you know what I mean? Don't be wrong. Listen, the thing that I done with Bouncer and that whatever not. Listen, that there, I enjoyed doing that, and Bouncer's been mate.
You still speak to Tommy Inch?
Oh, no, because he keeps going on, keeps putting things up, and like to be honest with you, I'll be truthful with you. He'd be very lucky if I don't stove his face in. Like, I'm a serious person when I'm not, that sounded real corny and cringy. Like, I'm not saying it like I'm a serious, I'm not saying like, there's certain things that I take quite seriously. That's what I'm getting at. And like, people keep saying in comment sections about, oh, I'll punch his head in and whatever not. Well, listen, you've had it, I'll knock him out and whatever not. Well, you had 2 chances to knock me out. You couldn't knock me out while I was still pissed. That was was at your gym. That was, wasn't it? Like, and I don't mean no harm. Paul, when Paul comes up here in a minute, ask Paul. Paul was in my corner. I was blowed up from the second round, and I beat him on sheer. Just, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That was all it was. Sheer, I just know what I'm doing. That was all it was. I realised I weren't going to get him out there. I punched the grandmother out of him for a couple of rounds.
I like Tommy. He's
listen.
He's a nice fella. He's game as they come.
He's as game as they come, but there comes a point, right, when you've got to understand. You know what we were talking about earlier on, when people just use things have gone quiet for him for a minute or two. Things have gone quiet for him, and
your name out,
and he keep throwing my name out. Don't keep dangling my name, but it's my own fault for giving him the reason to dangle my name. So I'll take that on the chin. But you know where I'm at the minute with, I've got a lot of things on my mind at the moment. I've got a lot of things going on, and I'm not the one to be trifling with at this particular minute in time, because boxing and fair fights will go straight out the window. That's where I'm at. That's how I handle things. Because listen, I've governed that, and I'm not going to keep letting people make money off me. I ain't gonna. I'm going back boxing professionally. Go and get a professional license. You want to box me again? Go get a professional license. I'll box you. I'll pay you.
What's happening with the comeback? Is it on?
I've had a bit. I've had to have a bit of time off because, like I said, my mum's been ill.
Yeah.
My mum's been ill, so my concentration at the minute is just I want to spend as much time I can with my mum and whatever not. I'm going to start training this week. Because the weight's an issue. the weight is, listen, middle-aged spread is real. Right? Middle-aged spread is real.
I think my missus puts it on me sandwiches.
I know, yes. Do you want a bit of middle-aged spread on your crumpets? But no, I'm gonna box again. I've been offered a couple of things. I've been offered things on the influencer scene.
I think you'd make a lot of money out of that. You know, I think there's a division there that obviously you can wrap up easy enough.
Listen, without a shadow of a doubt, I could get up now and beat who's the heavyweight champion.
I don't think they've got one of them. I think ain't they putting ain't Ben Knight fighting for the heavyweight?
Is he?
Well, that's
what I mean. Like, it'd be trouble. It'd be problems for poor little Ben if he stood in front of a man like me, wouldn't it? Like, I like Ben. I like Ben. Nice lad, polite fella. Unbeaten with me in the corner with him and all, I want to add.
I had him. He fought on my last show. Funny enough.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah, he boxed on your last show. Are you going to do another one of them shows?
Potentially, yeah. I've got a meeting next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, just I've had so much going on, Tom. It's not been priority for me.
Well, that's what I mean. When you got so many pokers in the fire, it's hard to know which one to pull out at the right time, innit? I had a phone call for somebody the other day. They were doing a show in Africa, in a stadium. Doing a show in Africa in a stadium. Like I said, I'm a prize fighter. I said, come see me. We'll talk money. If we make a deal, we make a deal. We go.
What sort of show was it?
An influencer show, I think. I think it's an influencer show. But like, do you know what it was?
I was involved in a show that was potentially going to go out in Africa. That's the only reason why I asked.
It's I tell you it's to do with Tamara Sain's brother.
Right, okay.
Hassan. It's to do with him. They got in contact with me the other day, and I don't know who it is they want me to fight. I didn't even ask. God knows. I'm trying to think who the fuck would want me to fight. To be fair,
naughty out there. Like we looked into it in depth. Like the setup costs out there are for nothing.
Yeah,
but it's naughty. You know, it's like there's no security. You've got a nasty crowd. If it went wrong, it would go badly wrong, and you'll probably make the news channels.
Yeah, not the way that you want. Not the way that you want to. Fucking yeah. But listen, like I said, I'm a prize fighter. They come up with the money that I deem fit of me dragging my ass to have a fight.
I'd like to see your Misfits.
Listen, I'll go on Misfits. I would go on Misfits, and but like I said, who have they got for me to fight realistically? Because like let's be fair, the bigger fellas that they got, I'd beat them round in, round out. Do you know what I mean? I think, like I said, I think that Tommy N's just trying to get himself on there desperately, isn't he? But when you look at it, there's people there just asking to fight him, and he's he's not. The road that he's gone, right? I'm gonna chuck a couple of arrows here, right? It's no good mentioning me when I've beat you, right? The only actual proper fight we've had, I beat him. You can say it's 1-1 all you want, but listen, that there in a boxing gym, that counts for fuck all. Right, and I beat him anyway.
That was a bad.
That was a bad bit.
Yeah.
That was a bad decision from Ty. Right, that was a bad decision from Ty. But listen, regardless of whatever.
Yeah, Ty Mitchell actually refereed.
Yeah, Ty Mitchell. What were you watching, Mush? Right, but
what headbutt?
Yeah, right. Hey, listen, I'm a dirty fighter. I'm good at the dark arts now. I'm good at them. But when you look at it like this. You've got men there that are queuing up to fight him. It ain't that he can't find fights. There's men there that do want to fight him. There's a man there that beat him and offered him a fight. I'm not going to mention, but I will mention him. JJ wanted to fight him. Right? JJ wanted to fight him. And he don't want to fight JJ. Right? He don't want to fight JJ because JJ's got his card. He's got his card. Right? That is it. Right? Tommy is the only man alive I've ever known to lose a decision and then try and claim the decision. He did.
Other than KSI.
Yeah, like he literally went, I'm overturning the judges, I won. They were his words. I knocked him out, he reckons. I knocked him out because he had the fella stunned on the last round. But listen, by the by, look, what I'm saying is before we throw my name out into the woods and whatever not, go and deal with the actual people that do want to fight you. I've got no interest in fighting you. Got none. You bring nothing to my table. Bring nothing to it. Do you know what I mean? Can't sell a ticket. Sold 3 tickets for Bouncer's show. Ask Bouncer. Sold 3 tickets. I do tickets wherever. I've always been a good ticket doer. Always have been. Whether I try and do tickets, I believe that I'm past the point in my career, I'll go enough to boxing to have to be a boxer and a promoter at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'll do tickets. I know I don't need to have tickets in my hand for people to come watch, knowing that they're coming to watch me. I know that happens. I'm not stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know when I box, places get when I turn up to fight on a show, there's never an empty hall when I'm boxing. Do you know what I mean? And that's for a reason. And I might not sell one personal ticket myself, right? I could guarantee there's people there went and bought tickets to come watch me fight, right? I know that, right? But when you're on an influencer scene, right? This is the only way I can imagine it being, right? And this is like what I'm saying with Tommy. Like, I obviously want pain for what I know I bring to the table. Do you know what I mean? This is the same in any boxing, not just about Tommy, not just about... I want pain for what I know I bring to the table. Now, what I bring to the table is, right, anybody knows I can talk the hind legs off of a donkey, right? There's no... you're always going to get skits, jeers, probably the odd smack or two in a press conference or something. Like, it depends what sort of demeanour someone brings with me, but that's just how I am. You're always going to get a good, even if I'm out of shape, you're always going to get a good fight because I can fight. Do you know what I mean? And you're always going to get people that turn up to come and watch me because I'm I'm known for boxing. I'm not known for TikTok. I'm not known for anything other than boxing. Do you know what I mean? So the people that follow me, they follow boxing. Now, you know when you see these people with all these big massive followers and whatever not, and people assume that they're automatically going to do big numbers tickets, people follow them because they follow them for free.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it. Things don't convert. You have 1 million followers, it doesn't mean shit.
If somebody's got to pay to follow you, then see how many followers she's got then.
Yeah.
If somebody got to give 50p just to follow you.
Some of them free lives, that the numbers were mad. That, you know, like Bouncer and Tyrone, what they was doing, them lives were crazy. Even like what HS is doing now. Like, I don't know if he's still doing that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be quiet.
Seems gone quiet, but like that there, like, you know, they're getting crazy numbers on lives. If you charge everyone 20p, they probably wouldn't turn up. It's mad.
Yeah.
It is mad.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like,
because everybody only wants it because it's for free.
Yeah.
And that's what this is where we're saying. It's because the product ain't worth anything other than free viewing. That's why. That's why. I know when you know that you're worth something, is when people pay to come watch you. Do you know what I mean? When people say, "Oh, he's fighting tonight, I'm gonna go watch him. I'm gonna get some tickets to watch him," right? That's how you know what's up. Now these boys that say, "Oh, I had fucking thousands of people watch me." All right, Mush, that's all well and good. That's all well and good, but who paid to watch it? Who paid to watch it? Who paid their hard-earned readies to watch it? You're getting views on you because it's free, and let's be honest with you, it's free because that's the only market for it. Free viewing.
I think there's a few of them there's a few people I've seen out of that, you know, the whole sort of Sunday smoke scene who have managed to carve some sort of career out of it.
But it's through what they do afterwards, you see.
Of course, yeah.
It's through what they do afterwards.
They build the platform on that.
Yeah.
And then if they use like Pro PT.
Yeah.
Like I like Pro. You know,
I like Pro.
I see Pro. Yeah, I see him a couple of weeks ago.
Always polite. Always
nice guy.
Yeah.
I spoke to him yesterday, actually. He's got a good head on his shoulders, so he knows he's built that platform, and now he can sell things. You know, he's obviously got his aftershave brand, and
listen,
he's got him and his brother have got a good.
It's all about making an avenue through something. If you just sit there and think, right, I've got all these numbers, but you don't know what to do with them,
waste of time.
It's a waste of time having them. It's a waste of time having them. So, but that's what I'm saying. When you look and you sit and you're just making, like, I know it's going back to soppy nuts again, but when you look and you're just getting stoned on camera, putting videos up of you playing PlayStation and whatever, like calling out for people, saying ridiculous things like you could mix with the best, very best in the world, when a man, the worst possible version of a man that fell short at that level, and it's the world has beat you very handily, very handily, then just hush your gums, mush, and stick at the avenue where you're going at. Stick to that and just leave my name out of it. Stick to that and leave my name out of it. That's the best thing to do, because there's no more paydays to come off me. You know what I mean? There's no more nice little touches to come off me. That's not happening.
Unless Mams gets on the phone and offers a deal.
Do you know what it is? I'm pretty sure Mams can find somebody else to fight me. I'm pretty sure they can find someone else to fight. I can guarantee you now, misfits do not want part of Tommy.
No.
They don't want that. They don't want part of Tommy. They don't want part of Tommy. And listen, I don't know. He thinks it's a conspiracy against him. It comes a point when you've got to look and say it's you, innit? It's you. It's how you're behaving. It's how you're being. It's what you bring to the table. It's all right. These people do not have you on shows if you don't bring nothing other than fighting to the table. Because I'll tell you, if it was only a case of just bringing fighting to the table, there's a million pros that can fucking fight, but they got no sort of media presence. Now, the media presence that you're bringing ain't like when. How to put it? Right, it's like this here. When you look at somebody, when they join a live, loads of people join. Yeah? Tommy ain't one of them people. Do you know what I mean? And that's the sort of things that these promoters look at.
Interaction, yeah.
Yeah, they look at your interactions, they look at things like that. So that's why you won't find him on them sort of shows. He's not enough gate.
It's not their fit, is it?
Yeah, he ain't there sort of look. Listen, he's got the perfect opportunity to go on there, and they still ain't reached out for it. A fight with him and Idris Virgo. He's already beat Idris Virgo. Idris Virgo's there, and he ain't. Why? Because of the draw, what they bring. One brings one thing, the other one don't bring half as much, quarter as much. That is why. That's why. It's not a conspiracy against one person. It's what you actually bring. So if you're not using your social media as a tool, because this is what these people don't understand. They're saying social media is a tool nowadays. You got to use it.
Big time.
You get these people, they're living on social media like it's fucking real life. Like, I'll take you out and show you some real life. Like, I've lived a very real life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's sad when you see that people are not taking advantage of what they could take advantage of. And I've been a fool of it myself to a certain degree, because I didn't think, how the fuck can anybody earn money out of TikTok? I was shocked, when I heard like how these people were saying.
Some of them earning big money.
Mate,
as well.
I'm telling you now, because I am one bad week away from selling pictures of my feet on the internet, right? Times are hard in the little cam. Right? I will start an OF in a second. Right? No, but what I'm saying is,
I've got to eat after this.
I don't fucking hell, no. One sausage. No, but what I'm saying to you is, you've got to put it into context where if you're not making stuff work for you, and I look at it now, and I just think to myself, it is effort. It is effort. People think that they're getting money for nothing. Obviously, it's effort what these people do.
And hours and hours a day.
Hours and hours a day. I think the best selling thing out of all of this has probably been ring lights. I think they've gone through the roof, haven't they?
Literally.
Yeah, like ring lights and fucking filters and fucking
everyone's an influencer now, isn't they?
Please look at that. I've got a potato with a SIM card in it.
Is that even a phone? I thought it was one of the scanners out of Tesco's.
She's a good one, this is, This is a good one, this is. She's a very, very under the radar. That day could go in a submarine and you wouldn't even know it was there. That's some military equipment now.
With a charger pack.
I'm telling you, no, honestly, that's a potato with a SIM card. The best thing about that, if somebody tries to run away from me, I can throw it at them and fucking disable them. Do you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. Like, these kids, they're I'm getting people, they turn up to the gym with fucking cameras and shit and whatever. They want to come and do a bit of a training session with me or whatever. And I look at things, I think to myself, Joe, what? Have you actually got too higher expectations of where this influencer is? Because this ain't going to be here forever, you know that. I don't think it's going to be here forever.
I think it'll be here for a while. I think it's here for a while. I think there's, and we have this on so many podcasts.
Yeah.
But I think it's very positive for boxing. Some people disagree.
I disagree. I do disagree.
But I think if you look at gyms are busier than ever. There's more people into boxing now. There's people who would never watch a boxing match who have now got into influencer boxing and are now starting to put eyes on real boxing.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah, that's a positive.
Boxing's become very fashionable again.
Yeah, no. Listen, you're making a good point.
You reckon 3 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. It's got 3. Do you know what it is? Wait for one of these divvies to get hurt, and that's where it's going to get. What's saying? No, it's not necessarily going to be Misfits, right? Because Misfits is a good, well-run organisation, minus the arms thing where it keeps collapsing. But other than that, it's really well organised, right? But I think some of the smaller shows, what don't put the due diligence in, and for the welfare of people don't forget that people fucking get hurt in boxing, and there's an art to taking a shot.
Yeah,
there's an art to taking a shot. Trust me on that. So when you look and one of these gets hurt, it's the same I've said before about the whole, like we said on the last one that I've done when it's only boxing that will suffer at the end of it. Because when one of these knobheads get hurt, then the easiest thing to do is just get rid of boxing, and that will break my heart. That will break my heart because I'll tell you what it is. The only reason I get bitter about it is there's boys that give their life to the craft, like serve an apprenticeship, a long apprenticeship, a lifelong apprenticeship. Like they get some of these boys now. They don't have much of a childhood where they dedicate themselves to boxing. On a 1% chance, if a 1%, it could be 0.5% chance that they will become a pay-per-view fighter, a world famous pay-per-view fighter. That's where they make the life-changing money. That's where they make that generational wealth. But then you get fucking people like Jake Paul and that got fingered on the Disney Channel. They become a pay-per-view fighter
and doing crazy numbers
and doing crazy numbers.
Listen, this is
because they're bringing eyes to boxing. They ain't bringing eyes. People can care about whether he do. Look. He's lost fights.
But you could be the best builder in the world. You could be an incredible builder.
Yeah.
If no one knows that you're a great builder and you don't advertise your firm, you ain't got no work.
Yeah, no.
So
I do make you right. It's we live in the world of advertising, don't we?
That's it. You've got to sell yourself. Listen, we say the modern day boxer, the modern day pro boxer, they need to be a marketing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to spend 20% of their time building their brand.
Yeah.
You watch even like the likes of Johnny Fisher, John Hedges. I love John, local lad. Like his social media presence is great. You know, he's always around the right people. He's at the right events. Like he's putting himself out there because he knows that sells. You know, he's becoming brand John Hedges.
Yeah,
you know, he's building a tower, isn't he?
That's what I realised. For me to get fights, I had to be around fighting people. I had to be in around press conferences that had nothing at all to do with me.
Exactly.
But I'd be there, I'd get hold of Coogan, I'd do some work with Coogan, I'd get hold of the boys from Boxing Social and whatever not. But now you've got this thing like with Instagram, with TikTok, you can reach out to people yourself. You can make your social media presence it's so easy if these boys just get hold of it. You know what I mean? Get hold of it. And I tell young boys now, amateurs, I tell young boys, I tell young,
never proven.
I tell young boys now, young boys and girls, make your brand now.
What exactly do you tell these young boys and girls?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Why?
Someone called the old bill.
Why did it even have to go there? It was going so well. It was going so well.
You tree are outside.
Fucking hell. Do you know what? It's just gone, and it's gone south horribly quick. I was doing so well. I was doing so fucking well. No, see, this is where it all fucks up on it. No, but back to the point in hand. I'll tell these kids that they need to start branding themselves now.
From a young age.
From a young age. Groom them.
And this will be our last podcast due to cancellation.
Do you know what?
Listen,
we cannot get cancelled, right? This cannot get cancelled for the simple fact I see a podcast the other day. Somebody said Joseph Fritzl tried to be the worst Austrian ever lived. Obviously, going against Hitler is always going to be a bad thing. He was like military empowered and like he had the backing of the people. The only thing Joseph Fritzl had was a shovel and a dream.
Terrible dad, great soundproofer.
Mate, I'm telling you now. Look, I know you've been on the tips, haven't you? I see you've been on the tips. Bit of foliage to break the sound up.
People don't realise this is a basement down here.
Yeah. That's it. It's the only thing you've got to take an elevator 4 stories down.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
That's it.
But no, seriously, and it goes not just for boxers, it goes for any profession. Social media is the biggest tool you've got.
Yeah, because do you know what? You know what it is as well? It's at your disposal, and you can put out what you want to put out. There's no such thing as a misprint. There's no such thing as a bad edit because it's at your leisure. It's at your so something will become as big or as small as you want it to be, and this is what these people. I'm not going to keep mentioning kids, man, but everyone needs to realise that it's a tool. It's not a lifestyle. It's a tool.
That's the trouble. I think that what you've said there is perfect because people are obsessed.
Yeah,
they're obsessed, and they think spending 10 hours a day on it is going to make their fortune. And
no,
like what you said with the boxing or the golf or whatever it is, it's 1%. If you're lucky, you actually make big money out of it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people out there. You go on a countdown again, you see they've got 3,700 posts and got 1,200 followers.
Yeah,
they've been posting for 5 years straight, and they've got 1,200 followers. Yeah. It's never going to happen.
No,
no.
You've got to put your feet in the right doors. You get the right avenues to get the right algorithm.
Literally,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to post about the right things at the right times. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how you get the views. Like that is how you get the views. And you get some of these people on TikTok and that now. They get monetized or whatever it is. Yeah, and they're earning a fortune. There's some fisherman. I watched some fisherman there the other day. Yeah, like he catches lobsters, and there's been a falling out. Like, I love a bit of gossip, right? So I was invested in this video straight away, even though it was 2 greasy fishermen. Like I was still invested. Like what's going on? Who's wrong? Do? And I was like, one month, the first month he got like 20 grand, 20 grand just for doing videos.
Yeah.
on stuff that they see every day.
It's what he does anyway. Just put the camera there. But then some people have interesting lives, don't they? Who's that young, good-looking kid who does the stone masonry? Have you seen him?
There's one that I watch. He does all woodwork and that. The Irishman.
I know that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Shalali.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
But it's one of them. He's so it's a niche market. I mean, how many of them fellas out there are there? Same as this masonry geezer. I was talking about to someone else the other day. He's probably about 20 years old. He's got about a 10-pack. He's always got his shirt off. So all the
him
girls
chopping
love
the
him.
wood. Have you seen him and all? That one, he's got a 10-pack.
I've seen
Have
that
you
one, yeah.
seen him keep chopping the wood? Like, he's trying different axes out and whatever. Not like. I'm trying to think what
career out of it.
I'm going to go around the gypsy site tonight, and I'm going to have a look about what I do every day, which is really interesting. Which other people... Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it out to the open. I'm going to bring normal people there, and I'll say, right, you point out to me what you just find interesting, because all this is just everyday stuff for me.
Yeah.
And I'll say, right.
There's been a market for it already, isn't there? You think about it, like, what, 10,
Big fat
15 years
gypsy
ago?
lady.
Being serious.
Yeah, no,
Being
yeah.
serious. It's like an insight, because it's an insight to a world that people don't see. You know, the average person doesn't see it. And I think anything that's different, fucking hell, it's a dream, isn't it? You know, like you can make money out of it.
I might just put a sign out at the gateway. Come and view the gypsies.
Tenner entry.
I'll do better than the fucking Woburn. I'm not saying the little zoo up there. I'll do better than them. Come on. I'm pretty sure I can find a couple of like really hillbilly cousins or something. A bit like this.
Come on, we're going to show you how to hook the drain gully up to the to the tow rope.
I'm going to show you today. What I'm going to show you today. Today's tutorial is how to hook your caravan's electricity up to a lamppost.
Do it.
Free electricity.
They're probably, all jokes aside, there probably is a market for it. Just on the spoof side of things.
Yeah,
I love it. I'll find. Listen, we all do.
Mate,
I
watch some weird shit.
Yeah.
I watch some weird stuff. Like honestly, and then do you know what does me is the longer the video goes on, I get too invested in it, and I think so. This is going nowhere. This
You're
video.
pot committed though, aren't you?
But I'm too committed to it, and then I'm too stubborn to turn off it.
Yeah.
And then they got the part 2.
I normally scroll to the end. I must admit, I can't. I haven't got the patience. So I'll see.
No,
because
because then I feel like I'm missing something.
Well, I normally scroll to like 10 seconds from the end just to make sure it's happened. Because there's a lot of these on where it don't happen.
Yeah,
got
and then you got to see part 2. Double tap for part 2.
Yeah, and
that
like,
there.
No, I'm gone.
See people that do that there, right? They want to hope I don't find them, right? They want to hope I don't find them because you don't realise how many challenging wanks I've had. I'm waiting for part 2s to come out. What? Don't fucking come! Fucking hell. It's fucking so annoying. It is.
It is frustrating. It is frustrating.
It's terrible. Well,
I've done a 2 o'clock in the morning audio book. I've seen a little snippet of a story, and it's shit.
Yeah.
I'm watching it.
No.
Now I've downloaded an app. Now I'm paying 16p for.
Oh no, I never do that.
And I'm like, I'm so committed. I need to hear the rest of it, but I've already heard it. I heard it 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
And
I've done one about
yeah.
some geezer who's actually a secret millionaire.
I've seen it.
I've done it. Yeah. I've done it. How do I let her know that I'm really a billionaire? It's like you get so invested in them, innit?
It's 3 o'clock in the morning now, and I'm downloading another app.
Yeah,
like just to try. So you download this app and you start watching it, and it tells you can only watch 5 for free.
Yeah, yeah,
that's it. Yeah, now I've paid because I've already listened. I've seen the story 2 or 3 times. I know how it finishes, but I've got to see it. I've been hooked in like I'm a perfect customer.
Yeah, no. Like, that's it. I am a typical I scroll and I'm thinking to myself, right, everyone else is asleep. No, I'll watch this here, and then before I know it, I'm like 6 pages down. Like, and I'm trying. I'm like a proper addict. I'm trying to find a way to I can finish this story.
Oh yeah.
Like it's fucking terrible what they do. How they leave you hanging. Like,
Googling our tour aliens.
Yeah.
You know, like I find out, you know, like my search history, I don't talk about it too much, but the amount of stuff 4 o'clock in the morning, either all the shoes or trainers.
Best thing with that there, it wipes itself. Best thing with that there, it wipes itself. Because I'm thinking now, see if that there, NASA would want to know about a few or two that's been searched on there. I'm telling you.
Oh, it's scary. It is scary. And the podcast is
how many refugees can you fit in a Mini Cooper? Like, fucking, I've got questions like that in there. Do you know what I mean? I'll put them at 10 grand a head, go over there in a little fast Mini, you fucking thing. Bunsen burner, nice little learner, mate.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Take the stickers off. Take the stickers down. We're done. Oh dear, that you know what? That probably leads us on to something that we got into last time when we were talking about the boxing.
Yeah,
and we were talking about the trans boxing.
Listen,
are you in a good mood?
Yeah, well, you've ruined it now because you brought that up. Nah, listen, do you know what it is? And I deem this for anyone and everyone. You want to live your life how you want to live it. You want to go and identify as a slug for all I care. Like, that's fine. You can't push that on me, but that's fine. Right? That's just how I look at it. I'm religious, so I look at things how I look at things. But look, I'm not here to push things onto our people how they should feel. They want to identify as a man. They identify as a man. But what they got to understand, and this is what the idiots and the fools and the people that are allowing this to happen, they need to understand. Men aren't to it. Right, let's put it this way. I'll put it quite simple this here. I go and chin a bird dressed as a man. I've still hit a bird. What would you say to me? Tom, what are you fucking doing? Wouldn't you? So what are you doing? Like, it's common fact, right? This is scientific fact. This is science. Right, right. Listen, you've got an old roughneck gypsy boy here talking to you about science. Right, so this tells you how far the clowns have let it come. Our bone structure, our bone density, is much more thicker than a female's. We get fed testosterone from puberty, from when we start puberty. Mine was late, but still, I must have got a double dose. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is when you put it down to the point of, right, I'm going to just strap a rubber cock on, and you might find it offensive. I don't fucking care because it's a sport that I love, that I've given my life for, right? Or not, right, I'm going to scratch the rubber cock bit because that's probably a bit insensitive, but you've got to understand this. You can't fight with a man. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. And what's going to happen is, what I said earlier on, boxing will be the only thing to suffer from it, because it won't be because, it won't because the obvious thing is it's a man punching a woman. That ain't why they've died. No, it's just boxing's too dangerous. We need to get rid of it. Boxing's too dangerous. It can't happen. Now listen, accidents happen in our sport way too much. Right, they do. They happen way too much. But when you think back how monitored it is, and how the safety precautions people put in to then go and undo it for some state athletic commissions to say, yes, we're going to allow trans female boxers to fight or something.
I did see a couple of days ago there was I can't remember what the name was, but there was a woman who had transitioned to a man and been knocked out.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Listen, don't get me wrong. Like we had a guy called Jackson Feely on, I don't know, a month ago. Trans guy, like was born a woman. Really, really interesting story. What they was pushing was happiness, right? They was unhappy, and I think on that, like. It was honestly, it was really educational, and I'm gutted that I never got to discuss the trans sort of competition stuff. with regards, because I think it's a very delicate subject, obviously.
Of course, it's only
and
delicate.
It's a safety issue. I think that's the...
Yeah, it's only delicate because people are now scared to say what colour a wall is because that could offend somebody. Do you know what I mean? People are too touchy on things, and people are too quick to call out like you can't call something what it is anymore. Do you know what I mean? You can't. We're in that day and age, right? Which is a very sad place to be. Right,
dangerous.
for me,
it's a dangerous place.
It's a very dangerous place to be. I couldn't care if I get cancelled tomorrow. I could not care. Right, I could not care. Right, this is when you take something that I love, and look, I had a trans, born a girl to a transition to a fella. She come on a training camp with me to Fuerteventura. I didn't know until I went out there. I didn't know until I went out there. But obviously, I said this year. I said I will train you. I will do everything. I will not let nobody treat you no different. You will do every bit of work that we do. But, and there's a but here, I'm not going to have you sparring with these. I'll jump in and I'll move about with you, and I'll move about because I know I can pull shots. I know I can just move you around and advise you and whatever not. Do you know what I mean? But as for that, and I'm watching boxes. He's boxing now. He's boxing now.
Do you know who it is?
Danny Baker.
I think I've seen Danny on socials.
Yeah.
Does he put himself out as the first?
Yeah.
The first
trans
boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, lovely fella.
Yeah.
Right, lovely fella. Whatever not, I can't speak highly enough of him and his sister. But what he's doing, I'll promote anyone to be happy. If that's what you need to do to be happy, be happy. That's fine. Right, that is fine. But what you got to understand, like, is serious. Right? It's dangerous. It's dangerous enough as it is. It's dangerous enough as it is. So when you're taking shots off somebody who knows how to throw a shot at the level that Danny's at now, there's no real sort of danger, really. Do you know what I mean? But when people know how to punch and they know how to punch correctly, and you're feeling every ounce of pound of PSI that individual can push out, a naturally born woman's body ain't built to withstand that. Men's body ain't built to withstand it, really. But we can and we do, because listen, that's what we right. You want to go back to medieval times when we first crawled out of a cave. Men went out and hunted and went to war. Why? Because we were built to withstand that. That's it. Since the day, the first days of time, that's what men were built for. We're built for that. Do you know what I mean? But when you get, don't be wrong. Listen, you get your odd exceptions of women that. Well, no, you don't get your odd exceptions. When Clarissa Shields jumped in with that fella, an average amateur, he chinned her. She was talking about fighting Keith Thurman and whatever. Them men will kill her. And the only thing that will come out of it, and the only end result will be, listen, it's not their fault of that, because you can't say that it's wrong that a man's had a fight with a woman. But if a man comes home with 10 pints of Stella in him and sets about his old lady at home, he's a bastard piece of shit. But if a man fights a woman in the boxing ring, that's all right. No. The same thing goes. No matter what you're identifying as, like, I want to identify today as a millionaire, but it don't mean that I am one. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go to the bank in a minute and I will tell them, say, look, I identify as a multimillionaire. Daddy needs a Bugatti. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what they're going to say to me?
I've got no idea.
Don't do big enough white coats for this cunt. Get out. Right? Don't do big enough white coats for you. Right? You want to be happy in your life and you want to do something, that's fine. Do that. But when you're competing against people that gave their life to something, for one, it wouldn't be nice for a man to transition to a woman and go boxing other
I think
females.
this is the interesting.
That's
thing.
where it's going to get really dangerous.
We spoke to Jax about this because obviously, it's, when you think of a transgender in general, you think of a man transitioning to a woman. You don't see it as much to go the way that Jax has or Danny Baker, was it?
Yeah.
Like you don't see that.
You don't see that very
often.
much.
Yeah,
no.
it's like I think when you see that competing the other way, because obviously it's probably more.
It's got to be more common because listen, men are sore losers anything, aren't they?
But it's probably more serious the other way round.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is because that man's been fed testosterone all his life to then go and chop his nuts off and whatever not. Say, right, I'm a woman now. I'm going to box. I'm going to fight. I'm going to compete against these women. And that ain't fair to them girls either.
No.
That have gave their life for something. Don't be wrong.
Listen, it's a very hard situation because
if enough of them get on board, then let them have their own division.
Yeah. I mean, there is that, but then where does that division start and stop? It's like
it starts people that transition from one way to another to another to another. Then you've got it fair. You can only fight people that have transitioned the same way. I think that's the safest outcome for it. But then, at the minute, it's going to be a very empty sport because there's not many that are doing it.
No.
And I think a lot of people. I'm not saying for Danny and whatever. I'm not saying for them. But I think a few of the people that are doing it are only doing it because it's new and it's getting a reaction out of people. I think some people are clinging on to the fact that it's getting a reaction off of people. Do you know what I mean? It's loud. It's no longer a loud and outrageous statement that somebody's just transgender, right? But so they're not getting no sort of rise out of that. So now I'm transgender and I'm going to compete against women. Whoa, what? That's what they want. They've got that rise. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to be careful. Some people are doing. I'm not saying some people transition just for the fact that they want a rise in their attention seeker. I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying now is not so uncommon for people to be that way.
100%. Yeah. I mean,
it's a lot more common now. Let's go back 20 years ago, right? Let's go back 50 years ago. It's fucking unheard of. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think. Do you know what they said? Having Jax on was a real eye opener to their story. You know, like they've lived, I don't know, 26, 27 unhappy years. Now they're happy. Yeah. You know, it's like, and I get it, and I really enjoyed their journey. You know, my only concern is the safety, and that's the biggest thing for me. It's about that safety of, you know, men versus women. There's a reason why there's not just one, because that's the thing. If you know, why are men and women not just competing now? What, you know, if you're a 60-kilo woman, why can't you fight a 60-kilo man? You know, why have we got this division?
For the reason is
it's for safety.
Yeah, it's for safety, isn't it? It is for safety, and that's that. People won't be happy until somebody gets killed. People won't be happy until somebody dies. Is it for somebody to learn the lesson? Right, for the lesson, some poor martyr is going to have to die. And that's the sad thing, because when that person do die, that will be the end of boxing.
Well, hopefully not.
No, but I hope I'm wrong.
Look, we've had Michael Watson on here. He was our first ever guest. Like incredible man. You know, like with what he's been through, but not just what he's been through. How fucking incredible he is now. Yeah, you know, like he's so positive. He's awesome man. We then had Ben on, I don't know, a month ago. When did Ben come on? A month ago? Ish. Like, Ben witnessed that Cuba dying in the ring, I don't know, something like 9 years ago. He was in the ring with Jules Beavis, and he threw a left hook and killed him. Like, it's a fucking dangerous sport.
You
know, you don't play boxing.
You don't play boxing. You know, like, and this is the thing, like, people would have, look, you want to go and be what you want to be, and whatever. That's fine. That is absolutely fine.
but don't endanger other people's lives and livelihoods. That's the thing. You're endangering other people's lives and livelihoods by these outrageous statements that, like, come on. Let's put it this way. Like I've said now, a man that goes out, has a couple of pints, comes home and knocks his missus about, what is he? Scumbag, isn't he? Scumbag.
Worse,
So what? Right. So why are you going to give a man medals? Why are you going to give a man medals and belts?
I think it's a tough. I mean, I don't.
Who's just said, I'm transitioning to a woman. You're right. You're transitioning as a woman. That's all right in a public setting, right? But where violence comes into hand,
And sport. I think
sport.
competition in general.
The
one for me was the Leah Thomas, the swimmer.
Yeah.
6'1" or whatever, and huge hands, huge feet.
Yeah.
It's a disadvantage, and it's not fair. There was a lot of uproar with the female swimmers, and I think it's all now been overturned, and Leah Thomas has been stripped of the medals. But at that time, that was, and I think people don't know how to deal with it. But it takes out, we've spent, or women have spent, 50, 60, 70 years, looking for equality. And now all of a sudden we're stripping it away from in competition.
This is the thing as well. Like, these women, these girls, they have fought tooth and nail. Right, I'm going to go back to boxing because it's the only real sport that I truly understand. Look how far Katie Taylor and the girls that are on the scene now, Natasha Jonas and all them girls, Caroline Dubois, all of them, yeah? They've come. Look what they've gone through to get women's boxing to where it is.
Unbelievable.
Look at what they've done to get women's boxing to where it is. For people they're playing games with it. I mean, they're talking of playing games with it. Same as these Olympic runners. These women have fought tooth and nail. Generations upon generations upon generations have fought tooth and nail to, one, first be allowed to compete. Then once they've started to be allowed to compete, to be able to compete on the same stages as the men, not on different days. Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's what it used to be. It used to be a complete separate event. It was more like a freak show. Women's boxing used to be looked at like a freak show. Yeah? So now what they're trying to, it's not fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair to the people that give their life to boxing.
Well, I think you're seeing the uproars coming from the women.
Yeah, it is, because that's more where it's going to be, because I'm pretty sure there ain't going to be too many men that are really bothered about a woman transitioning to a man. Oh, what? She's going to come and give me a good fight? Well, no, you shouldn't be boxing if she do. That's the point of it.
Yeah, I do feel it's like I say
but that's where it could get really. Yeah, that's where. And it's not an advantage on Ross end, because listen, there's Katie Taylor in that could outbox me 7 days a week. But I've got genetics. I've got genetics on my side, so I'm going to stove her brains in. Do you know what I mean? I've got genetics on my side. Simple as that. I know how to put my hands up, and I've got genetics. So unfortunately for Katie, that's where the war would be lost, right? And it ain't fair to him. It's not fair. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be allowed. It should not be.
Well, I think in boxing is. I mean, other than obviously heavyweight, every other division is so. You've got to be so close.
Yeah.
To making weight.
Yeah. Everything's so fair. You know what I mean? Everything's so fair, and it's Queensbury rules. You know what I mean? It's
and then there's a disadvantage. It's fair. You're going to make weight, but then the advantage is it's not fair, and it's not. In my opinion, there's a safety issue which I don't know enough about, and I'd like to see the facts, but I think it scares me. Not for the competition. It scares me for death. It does scare me for injury, and like you say, that could damage. That guy dying, right? Roy Beavis, Beavis's family, Jules. It's not just Jules, and this wasn't. it's obviously not related to this, but it is. It's not just Jules who's lost his life. Everyone else is suffering.
Around him.
Ben was sitting here in...
The man who takes his life, he's got to live with it.
Yeah, it's like... so safety is so important in this game, in any sport,
But that's what I want to. That's what I want to know. I want to know if they'd be willing to, if they'd be happy and content to live with that. Because let me put it like this here. I'll tell you something now. I've been offered to cheat loads of times. I'll be honest with you. I've been offered to cheat loads of times, and I never would, because I want to know. I want to know if I happen to take a man's life, I can go to sleep and know I've took his life fairly. Nobody wants it.
That would be the biggest. The biggest thing would be for a man transition to a woman.
Yeah.
Who then severely hurts or damages or even kills.
But if you're that selfish that you're willing to do that anyway, then I don't think taking someone's life's going to affect you that much anyway. Probably. Well, I don't know, because it ain't me in the situation. But listen, what I'm saying is, has it really got to come to that before someone says, "Come on, this is ridiculous"? Do you know what I mean? Take it as you want. Take offence to it if you want. Don't like me, unfollow me. Do whatever you want to do. But come on. Has it got to take somebody to die for anyone says, "Told you so"? Knew that was going to happen. Some poor fucker's got to lay on a slab or lay cabbage for the rest of their life. No, it's already happened with that there. There was a UFC fighter, transitioned to a woman. He competed as a man, transitioned to a woman. If there's anyone can Google and get some facts up on it, I know it happened. He literally broke eye sockets, like done something severe to the skull and whatever. Like, this happened. This actually happened. That there. But what happens is, because it's part of that community, it stayed out of all the headlines, because bringing hate towards somebody of that community, and it ain't about bringing hate. It's just not fair.
Safety, yeah.
It's not fair. It's safety.
Have you got anything on that, Duns? Yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's just safety. But listen, let's not spend too much more time on it. Tell me about the future. What's up and coming for you? What's the next 5 years?
Future is literally get this weight off, and I'm gonna see what opportunities arise, whether it be influencer boxing or professional boxing, whatever boxing it is. So I'm just gonna be sticking to that there. Otherwise, if not, I'll be back out making mischief for myself. I've been mischievous for a couple of months now, and it didn't sit too well with me. So
have you not been training again?
I went on holiday and then I've come back.
Oh, Turkey.
Yeah, I went to Turkey. Never got anything done now.
Just looking in, let's have a look. Full head of hair.
Yeah, been to Turkey.
Tamika Brents.
Was that who it was? Yeah.
And then the fighter was Fallon Fox that broke her skull.
That's
Told
right.
ya.
Yeah. Was it about 6 months ago?
I knew that one broke his skull or something.
Yeah, bad. But yeah, I mean, like, 'cause I'll see some videos you put up. You sent into our little group.
Yeah,
like, you're looking sharp. Looking really sharp.
Feel sharp, feel strong and all. Do you know what? I sparred. Who was it? I sparred. He had his fight, and he's the number 1 K1 fella. Brad. Oh, fucking hell. What a fucking knob, man. I forgot the man's name. This is what I mean, but I'm telling you, a strong man. He hit me up the arms and I thought to myself, oh, surprise, he knocked the man out. That he had a fight with him, knocked him cold spark out.
Yeah.
But he's just a strong man. Like, I'll come back to my corner, like outwards. And before I could even say to Josh went, he's strong, isn't he? I went, yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah, I can feel it. And you know what it is? It was good to have that sense of little bit of wariness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sense of, right, Tom, you got to be switched on here. Even though you're a fat fucker, be switched on, because he will turn your lights out.
It's not a tiggling competition.
No, and I boxed well. Do you know what I mean? I was happy with the things that I brought back out on myself. I was very happy with. And, I want to box professional. I do want to go back professional boxing and whatnot. But look, let's have it right.
I know I was saying before about I want to get accolades and I want to feel like I've got something that nobody can take away. I want money. I want well paying for what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? And that's it.
I think Misfits is you all over. I think you go in there and take over.
Yeah.
That's the way I see your future.
Yeah. So do you know what it is? I'm gonna have a word with them and whatever not. And I'm gonna just start. I'm just gonna start giving. I'm gonna get a fight the way that I know how, and that's by taking to the internet and absolutely unleashing hell and trolling people.
Well, if you've only got Ben to contend with, I don't know what the other fella's all about.
Tempo Arts. He can box a little bit. But a novice fella that I trained was down sparring with Tempo Arts the other day. Little southpaw fella that I spar. So, and Jack's novice. He's good, but he's novice. You know what I mean? So that's where they're at with it. It's good, but novice. Do you know what I mean? Which is where Ben's at. Good, but novice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Raw, very raw.
Yeah, very raw.
Yeah.
That's the way we're saying. So I'll have a look and I'll see what they've got. But that's also again with what they're looking at as well, which Mams has already said. He said like there's not going to be a lot of people really want to fight me, realistically, and like at that sort of level. And he said it's not really fair either, really. Do you know what I mean? Which is right. You know what I mean? You got to make it right. I can't be sitting here spouting on about how other sports ain't fair and then me fucking talking about going picking off raw novices, because that is a bit of a piss take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm a scumbag and I would do anything for a few quid. So
Hang on a minute. Oh, mate, listen, on that one, I think we'll wrap this one up. Listen, it's been a pleasure as always, mate.
Pleasure.
Top man.
Well, it weren't as offensive as the last one.
We might be able to use some of this.